Good Saturday morning, race fans, and welcome to another Formula V race under the Sunday Night Skippy League. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am for this race. It is put on once again by the Sunday Night Skippy League, and we try to bring you some awesome racing on a regular basis. We have races on Saturday morning, we have races Sunday evening, we have races Tuesday evening, and we have races on a Thursday, all of which are broadcast. And you join us here at VIR. No, sorry, not VIR. What am I talking about? Summit Point. Summit Point. We're here at Summit Point today, and we are going to be racing away on this track. Let's have a look at the statistics or the information about the track here. Let me just see if I can pull that up for you. Give me 1 second. Of course, as usual, I've got myself all in a kerfuffle with where all this stuff is. Okay, race information, here we go. So we're at, it says Summit Point Raceway. We are not at Summit Point Raceway, we are at VIR. I don't know why that says Summit Point Raceway, but let's see if we can get that changed. No, we're not at VIR. We are at Summit Point Raceway. I am getting very confused myself. I do apologize. Anyway, good day for racing. It's a short track for the Formula V, which is good. About just barely under 2 miles. Temperature's a little warm, 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's a track temperature, 82 degrees Fahrenheit for air temperature. Partly cloudy, very light winds, so it should be great for these little wee cars to go booting around this track and give us some great racing. One of the wonderful things we have with these cars is that because they are so underpowered, I guess you could say, if you wanted to, it does give us some really, really cool close racing. Unfortunately today, Jason Bice, who is our league champion at the moment, he's leading leading all of the polls, he's leading all the points at the moment. He won't be with us today, unfortunately, but I'm sure that there are a few people who are like, well, that's pretty cool, because it means that we will have a different winner. So we should be just about starting into our qualifying laps, and I'm going to see if I can get up some information on the quali. It is lone qualifying, so that's why we really don't see all the cars booting out on the track to kind of race around. But this track is one that is a little near and dear to me. Let me just pull up on the screen the track map. And as usual, the red bar that you can see on the track map indicates the start-finish line. They will be going from your right to your left as they go down into turn 1. And you can see turn 1 opens as it goes round. So it starts off quite tight. We're looking down towards turn 1 now from the pits. It starts off quite tight and then opens up. Then there's a left-hand bend that takes us up to the first red dot, which is the northernmost or the highest up on the screen most red dot. And that, from the red bar to that red dot, will be sector 1. Sector 2 is from that red dot to the next one, and it means they're going slightly downhill. There's a hard left-hander. Then there's that 180-degree right-hander, followed by a little kink to the left, and 90 right, as they scream on down, scream being very relative in this instance, to the next red dot, which will be the end of sector 2, and then from that red dot, which is just before we get to the bridge on the back straightaway, into that corner, a right-hander, and then back down to the start-finish line. That will be sector 3. So they'll be setting different sector times inside of there. Let's see if I can find my qualifying information. Here I can give you some info. Give me 1 second. Not sure what happened there. sometimes I do get a little kerfuffled. I need to get a bit more training on this whole thing here with from Pim Luth, who really put this all together. Not seeing any times being set. I'm not sure why. Let's see what I can find out as I jump over into the Discord, just to have a quick look to see if I'm in the right place where I'm supposed to be. Give me 1 second. Hey guys, it's Ian here. I'm just doing the broadcast this morning, but I'm not seeing anybody on track. Did everybody leave and go to a different instance?
Yeah, I did. There's a separate session because the other session was in the middle of the night and there's no lights at this track.
Okay. So it looks like I might be in the wrong session then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a pain in the rear end. All right, let me.
Go quick, then we're still in qualifying.
Okay, awesome. I will leave this one and join the next one. Okay, thank you. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are clearly...
You were in the right one.
I was in the right one.
Yeah, I see you.
Oh, okay. I'll join again. All right. There we go.
You're in as a driver.
I am in as a driver, yes.
That's why you can't see qualification.
Ah, good stuff. Yes, I didn't think of that. Thank you, Pim. I will leave you to it.
All right, have fun.
So there you go. I was in the right place, just not in the right state. So give me a second, guys. I'll reload this real quick, and we will be back. I thought I was in the right place, but I couldn't understand why I couldn't see anybody. But now I know. Yes, I joined as a driver. There was 2 sessions set up for this race, unfortunately. One at 1 o'clock in the morning and one at 1:30 in the afternoon. And so, yes, all very confusing. But we'll get there. I clearly haven't had enough cups of coffee. I haven't had enough cups of coffee yet today to be doing this thing. I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to start a little bit earlier next time and make sure that the coffee quota is correct. As we are at 100% loading, so it should be popping back up on your screens fairly soon. Up, there we go. That's up. There we go. And we're back. And it's listed as qualifying. Yes, Pim is absolutely correct. I am listed as a driver, so I will not be able to see any of the actual qualifying myself. So let's see if we can at least get you some information on what's going on here. And we're looking at the results on the screen right now. I do apologize for doing it this way, but it seems to be the best way I can do it at the moment. Let's see, race info, grid race results. Ding, 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 qualifying, here we go. Let me see if I can throw that up. Is that going to work? Yeah, it's not going to show it because I'm on as a driver, which is why you see this big qualify button right here in the middle. Anyway, so far we've got Conrad Macau with a 1:27.07, followed by Benjamin Harris, Tyler Pimluth, Peter Lee, and Carter Stickney. I'm in as Ian. I am not racing. So we have a very, very small grid today. Just 6 races on the track. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. If they can all stay together, it should be quite fun because we should get some very, very close racing between that 6-pack. But because, again, it's such a small pack, as soon as anybody falls off the back of it, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to catch back up and compete with whoever will be the front runner. And if you have any guesses for front runners, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to start up a Twitch stream just real quick, just so I'm logged on to Twitch, and make sure that I can see any of your comments that you may have. Okay. So give me a second and I will be there as well. And yep, we're not seeing any much better times going down. As the clock ticks down, we've got just a few seconds left for the qualifying. And we're getting close to the end. All right. Yes, indeed. We're getting very close to the end. Ah, right. Now I'm with you. I can see. Do you think Tyler's going to kill it, hey? Well, we'll see. It should be a fun race. I'm looking forward to this. Again, Jason's not with us, so it does open up that whole front end to see if we get somebody else as a winner, right? So, there we go. There we go. Time has completed. And now the folks will be starting to grid. So I should be able to get out of this mode and get into a mode where I can better understand what is going on here. Give me 1 second. And let's see if we pull that up and then we pull up grid. Here we go. So Conrad in first, Benjamin in second, Tyler in third, Pim in fourth, Peter in fifth, Carter in sixth, and then myself, who's not racing, in seventh. So let's go look and see. Have we got anybody actually on the grid as yet? Doesn't look that way. Let's get rid of that for you and go back to the race. And what I want is this, and there you go. You can see them all lined up just under the bridge, getting ready to peel off behind the start safety car. As they come around to the pit in, the safety car will peel off, go into the pits, and at that time Conrad will be in charge of the race, getting everybody into and over the start-finish line. So let's wait for the flags to fly, and we should see them very soon peel off. And as you can see from the track map, which I've just put up, they're just coming underneath the bridge. There's a little bit of a downhill, and then the right-hander before you come down onto the start-finish straight. And the pit in is just by that corner as well, so you'll see the safety car peel off quite quickly once they get moving. So this is heat 1 of 2. And here come the lights. Okay. And let's see them. Off they go. Come on, guys. Come on, Mr. Safety Car. Ooh, someone's going a little early. And it doesn't matter so much on this. Once you're in the right position when you cross the start-finish line, you should be okay. So there we go. Conrad in first, followed by Benjamin Harris, Pim Luth, Tyler, Carter, and Peter. The safety car is already in, and here we go. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag flies, lights are live, and we are off to the races. And they are flying down to the first turn. As I say, it's a left-hander. Tires are cold. Yep, here we go. And who have we got? We've got Macau in first. Pim Luth is now in second. Aris is in third. Tyler's in fourth. Benjamin's in fourth. Tyler's fifth. Carter's sixth. Peter's seventh. And as they go piling down into the first of the tight part of the track and through sector 1, they're still kind of bunched up, which is good, and hopefully they'll be able to keep it that way and no one will have any major crashes or accidents. But I tell you, Mr. Macau is starting already to pull out a more than 1 second lead over Pim Luth. And that is not even over a full lap as they come through the end of sector 2, down under the bridge, little tap on the brakes, maybe a downshift, I don't know in these cars, sliding it onto the outside, and down again over the start-finish line to complete their first lap. And already there's a gap of 1.32 seconds from first to second. But between everybody else, the gaps are pretty tight. They're all running in the 134s. The fastest lap is the 134. Everybody else is 135, 136. And you can see Conrad is really working to drop the pack from behind him and try and keep himself up in the front place, up in first place. For those of you who haven't joined us before, that little puff of smoke that you keep seeing from the backs of these cars is completely normal for as Benjamin runs a little wide there. I think that was Benjamin. That little puff of smoke from the back of the cars is totally normal. It's just the way these engines work. And when they change gear, you get that little wee puff of smoke going on. So that gap continues to be built. Now 2 seconds from first to second. So let's jump back and see what's happening back in the main pack as Benjamin Harris. Did he crash? Who's that back there at the very back? Carter Stickney. What happened to Carter? Carter went off track. He must have had a little spin. Let's have a quick look. And so Carter was coming down through the left-hander. Oh, and he just got it into the grass. Okay, and that just pulled him back. And I see that Pim's also gone off and come on track as he slid off and tapped the wall there at the start-finish line. Gathers the car up. Has he got any major damage? Nope. He's looking pretty good. But unfortunately, he's dropped all the way back. And Carter Stickney, who's just popped into the pits, I believe, to get a little fix, is in there. Let's have a look and see where we are with the rest of the crew. Car's in the pit lane. And let's go back live to racing. As somebody else has just got it, so we'll go to Benjamin Harris. So come down onto the inside. Ben in the 521 car. And let's have a quick look at Tyler. Look at he has done a hell of a job painting that car, or having that car painted. It looks absolutely amazing with those glowing red eyes on the front there. Let's see if we can get a little better view. This is looking back over his left suspension, looking back at Peter Lee, and you can see the yellow and black Hornet colors there as he comes down onto the front straight. Let's have a quick look from maybe his right front suspension. Oh yeah, a nice little fist there. Oh, I can see how it's set up as he's passing the 521 car and Carter Stickney, who is now a lap down on everybody. Nice pass there. Holds it down, keeps it on the inside, lets it slide slightly out to the outside, and oh my God, this is a heck of a thing. Look at that. Ben Harris was not giving up that position. Let's get a better view of these guys. As you can see, they're very, very tight, very close together. That lovely Hornet paint. As Peter Lee is working hard to see if he can find a way past these guys. Let's see if we get let's get the chopper out and get a bit of more of a bird's eye view of this little 3-pack race that's going on. It looks to me like Ben went a little wide on that corner, and Tyler tried to take advantage but wasn't quite able to. And Peter is just sitting there in the background, kind of hanging on, waiting to see what he can do, take advantage of any mistakes that the guys in front of him might make. Of course, was when you're racing each other, as you can see, they're all starting to pull up. Now, one of the things these cars do have, and the reason that you can see them kind of closing the gap between each other, is they do have a lot of draft. What that means is the car in front of you is punching a big old hole in the air and letting you speed along behind, quite often a little bit quicker as they go past each other again. And this time it looks to me like Tyler has got enough of a gap there in the front and has successfully passed Benjamin. Oh, but Benjamin is not giving up the place at all. Sitting there, because I mean this is second and third position that they're racing for here. keeping close on the back of him as they go into the left-hander prior to the braking downhill into the hard left hairpin bend there. Little kink to the right, left, sorry, little kink to the right. Now you're going to big braking zone right here. You've got to get this right. Keep it on the inside, back on the gas. Let the car slide if it needs to. Inside again, keep it tight as we come along, and then we're coming now again back up onto the back straight. And the gap between Peter and Ben is only 0.6, so he's still there in the draft. He's just got to keep that gap. Don't let it get too much bigger, because once they drop below about a second, the draft never really helps you that much. All right, so here we go onto the back straight. Let's see if these guys can tighten it up between each other again. And you can see all right away that Peter is gaining on the back of Ben Harris's car there. Ben is closing up the gap onto the back of Tyler as they come down, and he takes the inside move. Does he have the speed to get past him? Braking into the corner. Oh, I think he braked a little bit too hard, had himself slightly offline, which really gave Peter the opportunity to close really right back up onto the back of them. But he got a good push. I'm talking about Tyler here. He got a good push out of that corner, which meant that they tightened up that whole group of three. So this is second, third, and fourth position we're watching right here as Mr. Macau just pushes away into the distance. He now has a 6-second lead over this pack right here. So they have to work very, very hard to be able to have any chance of catching him. Let's have a look back in the back, what's happening with Pim. Pim is working on getting himself back up to the rest of the crew, but he is a long way back. He is almost one sector of the track down at this point in time. One of the cool things is, of course, it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, and he loses it. It must be the curse of the watched, or the curse of the of being, us talking about him. That's not going to help him catch up at all. But never mind. Let's go and see what's going on with these guys. As you can see, once again, second and third switch places. But Benjamin is not giving up. They are sticking with each other. As you can see, Benjamin got a slightly better push off of that corner and had to come out of it a little bit so that he didn't get into the back of Tyler as we come down into the left-hander. Now with these cars, basically they're just using third and fourth gear as Benjamin gets a little squirrely, a little wide on that corner there. All the time Peter is sitting there in his car just watching and waiting and hoping that he can take advantage of any mistakes these guys might make, keeping that gap tight. And what we might do is once we get over the line, we'll do a lap with Benjamin, and we should be able to see as he comes down and gets it tighter and tighter with Tyler, and sees if he can work that overtake. He's looking at him very closely on this back straightaway. They're starting to pull a little bit of a gap between Peter. He needs to catch up with them, but they have the advantage of each other's draft. So Peter's going to be working really hard. So let's go and see from Benjamin's perspective what it's looking like. We'll have a quick look from his cockpit cam. So you can see that he's keeping quite tight there. Not quite close enough to be able to pull an overtake into this corner as Tyler takes the inside line to try and close that off. Benjamin's able to get onto the gas quite quickly, and you can see now how close to the back, and he's going to see if he can do a bit of an inside move on him. It's not quite there as Benjamin pulls over again and shuts that door down. This time he doesn't go as wide as he did last time, keeps it tight and clean, and is coming down into the hard braking zone and into the turn, the sort of hairpin to the left. Again, Benjamin's holding that inside line. Lots of steering input there. Would have scrubbed off a bit of his speed. But he's getting closer and closer all the time to the back of Benjamin, to Tyler's car. Maybe there's a little had to get out of it when Tyler made a bit of a mistake and they nearly touched. But if he can get it back up on behind him, as you can see in the rear view mirrors, if you look in his left rear view mirror, you can see Peter Lee right there waiting. He's closed that gap back up to under 2.25 of a second. And now let's see what happens as Benjamin Tyler pulls to the inside to try and break the draft but get himself the inside line. But Benjamin does have the advantage of the speed here. Let's quickly jump to Peter's car. You'll be able to see what's going on as he holds that throttle, pins it to the ground, pushes into the corner, tries to brake a little bit later than everybody else to give him that advantage to let him stay in front, manages to do so. What a lovely pass that was. But all this time there's Peter sitting in his car just watching and waiting, because guys, don't forget, it doesn't matter where you are, it's where you are on that last lap. So if you can keep yourself in contention, use the draft to allow you to just pull past, just to grab that place over the last lap. That's all you need. Right now, this group is about 9 seconds, nearly 10 seconds behind Carter, who's in first place, and he's just driven away with it. And barring any mistakes by him, he's almost guaranteed the win on this one. Bit too much steering input there by Peter as he tries to hold the car tight. Lost him a couple of tenths. His car scrubbed off speed. One of the big things with these cars is all about momentum. You do not want to scrub any speed off. You want to keep those tires pointing forwards as straight as possible for most of the time. As we come down into the final corner and onto the front straightaway again, he got such more speed off the back straightaway and managed to get right past Tyler. What a pass that was. Tyler just made a little bit of a mistake there. And let's have a look again at let's have another look at how that happened really quickly. Oh no, we're sorry, the wrong place. Oh well, never mind, we'll go back live, because it looked to me like there's going to be another change, but no. But Peter has lost the back of Ben Harris just a little bit there. He's going to need to push himself back up, because you can see these tires are slowly starting to give up. As they get worn, as they get heated up, as they get used over the course of a race, you can see that the steering input these guys are having to put in, the amount they have to turn the wheel to get the car to turn where they want it to go, is more and more all the time. So you can see here he's got almost 90% or 50% steering input there, just to try and keep the car going. But that interval between Ben Harris and Peter Lee is now up to just over a second. So Peter is falling off the back. Ben is putting down some really good laps. Nothing like Mr. Macau's laps. He's now running in the 127s consistently. His fastest lap was a 127.66. Sorry, 127.52. No one else. Oh, and look at this. He's getting past him on the draft, going down into that final corner. Let's go and see where it is from Peter's perspective. You can see him coming through, but Peter is not letting him go, keeping his foot to the throttle, keeping the throttle pinned, backing off, trying to get a little better run out of the corner. Could he get onto the gas a little bit sooner, a little bit faster than Ben Harris did? This is now the battle for third. Looks like Tyler. He's fighting with Tyler. Tyler's in front of him. Ben Harris has got second and seems to have got that in good solid place, because he's over a second ahead. But he's going quite quickly. He's starting to close that gap between him and Mr. Macau, but I don't think he's going to have enough time, because we're on lap 11 of what's going to be somewhere about 20 laps, I would think. We've done 15 minutes so far elapsed. This might be the last lap. This might be a slightly shorter race than I had anticipated. So this could be the last lap. So it looks to me like, if this is lap 11, yes, as Mr. Macau takes the checkered flag. Ben Harris is going to take it in second. Ben Harris crosses the line in second. Tyler in third. And a very close fourth. is Peter Lee. Carter Stickney is, and here we go, we're going to race between the back markers. Carter Stickney managed to pass right on the last lap. All right, well that was a good race, quite exciting. Let's see what we've got for you now. We are going to have the guys grid up again. And here we go, here's our grid this time. So it's a reversed grid. So the slowest people will be at the front and the fastest at the back. So that should make it quite exciting. And so in first, Pim Luth. Carter Stickney's in second. Peter Lee's in third. Tyler in fourth. Benjamin Harris in fifth. Conrad in sixth. And I am not racing as I'm commentating. So let's jump over to the start here, and you'll see soon the clock will tick down, and we will have the pace car pull off and lead them down into that first corner. And if we do that, all right, so the grid is up, the lights are on. The pace car should be heading off very soon now. There we go, pace car heads off and takes them down through and onto the front straightaway. Pace car is off the track. The car is now being run by, should be Pim Luth in first. Now Pim must pass that line in first place. And let's go and have a look by the chopper. Okay, he's keeping him slow. He's keeping him guessing.
Green, green, green.
Pim can hit the gas whenever he's, and the lights are up. The track is live, and away we go for the feature race today, as they get driven down into first corner, and everybody's breaking down. They're still holding the same positions as we did at the start. Right now we're looking from Ben Harris's car, who's currently in last place. Conrad has already made up two positions. He's now running in fourth, working hard on getting past, getting himself up into first place once again. Of course, because now you've got to race through the pack, it's going to make it a little bit more fun, because there'll be a lot more overtaking and passing. As Ben got a lovely run down into the corner. Oh, there's been an accident. There's been an accident. Pim has crashed. Let's jump back and have a quick look at what happened there. Came into the corner, was going through, spun the car, and lost that position. All right, so that lets now, Peter Lee's now in first place. Let's go back to live, and you can see Tyler is now working really hard on the back of Conrad, getting behind him, getting that draft to see if the two of them can both draft past. He's got a great run, goes on the inside of Tyler, of Conrad, and looks like Tyler has picked up 2 places with one little move there as they go down. Can he keep it? Can he brake late enough? Can he keep it? Can he keep the momentum into that corner? No, he can't. He had to brake a little bit harder than everybody else because he was going in so fast on that inside. And Conrad has gone up 3 positions into third. So we have Peter Lee in first, Carter Stickney in second, Conrad Macau in third, Tyler Andrew in fourth, Ben Harris in fifth. Pim Luth, unfortunately, is in the pits. So Pim will be out of this. And so far, Peter Lee has put down the fastest lap of the race at 1:35.7 and 7.9. So, okay, let's jump over to the chat and let's see how this is going. No, it's not a 250 lap race. It is a 20-minute lap, a 20-minute race. So it's a 20-minute race. It's not a 0-minute race. 20 minutes. Why am I not getting a 2? My 2 isn't working. How bizarre. It's a 20-minute race, and it's however many laps they can do in that 20 as Carter is charging for the first position and pulls out from the draft. and gets past Peter with Chris pulls past and gets past him. You can see the amount of braking that's going on when you saw the front of that car just dive towards the pavement. I'm sure they must be banging the ground when they get into that kind of position. But this pack is still very close together, and if Carter can keep Conrad behind him, I think we will keep this pack, because I believe that Carter is maybe slowing everybody down just a little tiny bit. Oh no! As Tyler slides off the track and into the barriers. He's got himself back on track. Looks like he should be able to keep racing. But he has lost that front pack completely. Now 12 seconds back as we sit with the front runners. So this is fourth, third, second, and first that we're watching here, as Conrad is all over the back of Carter Stickney and putting in faster laps. So Conrad is running at about a second a lap faster than Carter is at the moment. So let's see if we can see something from the far chase. And you can see as we're coming down into turn one, Conrad has pulled out from the back of Carter and he's taken first place. And Peter is also trying to take advantage of that draft and seeing if he can pick up an extra spot. As he breaks down into turn one, manages to climb all the way up beside Carter Stickney, but backs it off just a little bit. Carter takes the position. Now these guys are going to have to be really careful, because with the way this is going to go, Conrad is now going to just disappear off into the distance. Peter needs to work on getting past Carter as quickly as he can so that he can get up behind Conrad and take advantage of that draft to drag him along and hopefully pull him into that distant future of the race. Ben Harris sets 1:28.25 on his last lap. His best lap was his best lap. Carter's best lap is a 1:29.16. So there are some fast laps to be had around here, as you're starting to see that gap between Conrad and Carter Stickney already starting to grow. Right now it's about it's about a 0.53 interval. Gap's about 93 seconds. As we come onto that start-finish straight, if they can keep the momentum through here, you should be able to see them catch up with each other a little bit. The concertina effect's starting to happen. As you can see, Conrad is pulling over to the far right-hand side of the track to try and break the draft, as Peter pulls over to see if he can get past Carter Stickney, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it this time. But they've all concertinaed back up, and if they can keep the momentum through the corner, as Peter gets very close to the back of Carter, tries that inside move onto this little straightaway here, coming down into the left-hander. It's going to be going through it too wide. Looks like, nicely done. Both drivers giving each other plenty of room as Peter manages to work his way past Carter Stickney. But of course that then gives Ben Harris a chance to now pull right up on the back of Carter. And he's going to have to keep his eyes firmly fixed on his rearview mirrors to defend that position. So we're looking at first, second, third, and fourth here. As Carter Stickney gets a really nice pull off that corner and tries to take the inside move on Peter Lee, but isn't quite able to make it stick. And look at that! Ben Harris used all that. It was his huge advantage. He's managed to get into third place. Coming down onto the start-finish straight, you can see Conrad disappearing off into the distance. But everybody else is bunched really tightly. And you can see Carter looking about figuring out how can he take a move. Ben Harris is going to try and make an inside move. Peter is not defending that position. He did not pull over. Carter tries to take the inside, but is he going to be able to hold it? No, he's not. He gets a little close to Peter. Peter gets maybe a little love tap from Carter with a bit of net code and gives up the position to Ben Harris. Ben Harris is now in second place. Carter, however, has not given up. He is holding on to the back of Peter's car there for dear life, trying to make sure that he's in with a fighting chance to pull third position back. And if he keeps himself this close, you never know. On the last lap, there might be opportunity for a bit of a drafting overtake prior to the start-finish line. Let me pull up the track map, which seems to have disappeared here. And you can see that from that last corner, the start-finish line is about halfway down the track. So there is a bit of a distance that if you can be close enough coming into that final corner, you could draft enough that you could pass prior to the line. Let's see what happens on this one. Carter's quite close to Peter now. He's about a car length and a half back. And we will see the start-finish line. He hasn't been able to pass him yet. The start-finish line is now. So it will be a hard job. You'll have to be a bit closer to him than he is at the moment to be able to make that work going into that final lap. As we get up towards halfway through this race, we're coming up on 10 minutes of a 20-minute race. And as we said at the beginning, this did start with a reverse grid. So Conrad started actually last, and he is now again pulling out that lead, setting his last and fastest lap of a 1:27.589, and you can just see him just there in the distance as he passes and turns left in the hard braking zone and into this. As you see the cars behind Concertina up a bit more and get a little bit closer. Carter is working on the back of Peter Lee here, trying to make sure that he's in a position to get him, as Ben ran wide and then lost it, and now Peter's run wide, and that's opened the gates as Peter works back onto the track. Carter Stickney is able to take advantage of that and get himself back up into second place. Peter Lee in third, Carter Stickney in second place, Peter Lee in third, and Ben Harris in fourth. Really lost the back of them. But look at this. Tyler can now see Ben in front of him. And Tyler will now start working on Ben, because Ben does not have advantage of the draft any longer. So it's giving Tyler the opportunity through hard driving to be able to pass him. Let's see what times they're setting. So Ben did a 1:41.72. Tyler did a 1:28.849. That was because of Ben's off track. So let's see on the next lap how they do and if they can get any closer. So let's jump back up to Peter, and you can already see Peter is concertinaing in. He is catching up with the back of Carter, and Carter is working to hold him at bay, holding a slightly more middle line to try and give Peter less opportunity to pass. To come into that little heavy braking zone. Peter backed it out just a little bit to maybe give him a bit better on throttle application on the way out of that corner, so that he can catch up with the back of Carter a little faster. You can see Peter holding a slightly tighter line here than Carter has, and that gap is coming down all the time. 0.3, 0.5, 0.29 of a second as they go onto that back straightaway. And if Peter can get it done, you'll see him again using that draft to close up onto the back of Carter Stickney as they come into the final right-hander as we go to 12 minutes elapsed. 8 minutes to go to the end of the race. And who is this we see in the background? Ben Harris has caught all the way back up onto the back of Peter Lee. And Tyler is there as well. And we now have another group of 4 all racing for second, third, fourth, and fifth place. Well. What kind of driving could we say that is? That is really great driving by Ben Harris and Tyler. Ben runs just a little bit wide on that corner. Tyler taking advantage again and pulling himself up onto the back of Ben Harris. Carter, it seems, is just holding everybody up just a little bit as the other drivers are catching up with the back of him and looking to see if they can make a pass. And I'll tell you, I think if Peter doesn't pass Carter on this lap, he is going to get passed by at least Ben Harris, possibly Tyler as well. As they break down into the hard left-hander, you can see that gap shrinking and shrinking between Carter Stickney and Peter Lee. You can see the gap shrinking between Peter and Ben Harris, and you can see the gap between Ben Harris and Tyler holding steady. As we come up onto the back straight, Peter's working on the back of Carter. I think Ben might be just a little bit far back from the back of Peter, and depending on how they go through this corner is going to make a big difference. And I think you might see Tyler passing or working on passing Ben Harris. Yes, here we go. So Tyler's got the inside move on Ben, and Peter's got the inside move on Carter. So we should have a couple of swaps. Oh my gosh, as Tyler takes advantage and moves his car all the way up into second place. Oh my goodness me, look at that move. But I'll tell you something, Peter is not going away, not giving up, keeping his foot into the throttle there, holding second place. Tyler's in third. Tyler's in third. Carter holding on to fourth, but only just, as Ben Harris is hard charging, trying to get that place away from him. And so now we're going to see, can Peter hold Tyler off going through this lap? He's got another 5.5 minutes of having to try and defend that position from these hard charging cars behind him. What we should do is we'll jump in and we'll have a bit of a lap. I think, well, actually, no, I think we'll stay where we are, actually, because I think we're going to see some more overtakes, especially as we come up again onto this little back straight. Peter is just holding the cars behind. Carter is all over the back of Tyler as he pulls up and then gets back into his draft, thinking better of trying to pass him going into this corner. The draft is a much better place for him to sit. Let him keep that momentum, catch up onto the back, and see if he can do a draft pass as he closes and closes and closes that gap. Manages to pull wide, pulls over into the draft, pulls over once more, and pushes himself all the way up into second place, grabbing 2 positions on that pass. Lovely, nicely done. As Peter backs out a little bit, so does Tyler, giving each other lots of room. You don't want to get any bumping and argy-bargy yet. We've still got just over 4.5 seconds to go before the end of this race. It is not over, ladies and gentlemen, by any stretch of the imagination. And of course, out in front by, let's see now, he is out in front by 24 seconds is Conrad. He is just holding that gap and really holding an amazing race there. As Tyler, I think just Peter Lee is holding onto the back of Carter. I think Tyler just got out of the brakes at the wrong point, and Ben Harris was trying to take advantage of that. And they're holding position. Ben ran a little wide. Oh, he's a bit squirrely, but can he hold it? Oh no, Ben loses it just on that corner, trying to make sure he doesn't tag into the back of Tyler. But I'm sure, given the racing these guys have been doing, he'll soon be up behind him. He's got a minute or so. Looks to me like Tyler's lost the draft of the team in front, the group in front of Peter Lee and Carter Stickney. And so it's going to be a little more difficult for him to defend as Benjamin Harris, foot to the floor, working to try and catch up back again onto the back of Tyler. This race is not over, ladies and gentlemen, by any stretch of the imagination, as we tick down into 3 minutes to go. That'll be 3 minutes to go. Ben Harris is closing the gap between himself and Tyler, right now running at about a 7-second gap. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it in the time he's got left, but I'm sure he's going to give it as the biggest try he possibly can, as Tyler works hard on the back of Peter Lee to try and drag back himself back into third position, give him a chance at second. And Peter, of course, is trying to climb back up on the back of Carter Stickney to get that second place away from Carter. This has been a really exciting race. There have been so many changes between second, third, fourth, and fifth. They are giving us a really entertaining race here. Let's just jump up and do a lap from Peter Lee's perspective. Have a look and see what it looks like from his car. trying to stay in the draft behind Carter. Again, playing it smart as the clock ticks down. 1 minute 45 to go. Breaking down into turn one. You can see the amount of steering input that's being put in. That's scrubbing the tires, slowing the car down. Trying to get himself just a little bit closer all the time. But he doesn't want to overtake too soon. Got a really nice run out of that corner. Is carrying a bit more speed than Carter is. Able to close up behind him. Come into the heavy braking zone, into the hard left-hander. You'll see the braking going on. The whole front of the car dumps. Drops a gear. Keeps it tight. Oh, and he loses it. Oh my gosh, he's lost it. And there goes Tyler. He is now taken. So now Peter has gone, oh no, that has thrown everything. And here comes Ben Harris. Oh my God. Let's go back to the chase and see what we can see going on here. Where is Ben? Ben can see Peter as the clock is ticking down. So I think this is how it's going to be. So now it's going to be, can Tyler climb up onto the back of Carter and get past him? And we're running really low. We've got 19:34. So this could be the white flag lap. This could be the final lap. So I don't know if Carter can keep it going. He should have a good chance of holding second place. And it looks to me like Tyler will be taking third. Constantine effect from the corner. Lee and Harris are working really hard on climbing on the back of them, but I really don't know if they've got the time, as Conrad sits very comfortably over 28 seconds, almost an entire, no, it can't be 28 seconds, with an interval of 27 seconds ahead. Coming down into the braking zone. This is where a lot of cars have found a lot of trouble of keeping it on track. Carter takes that corner nicely, lets the car slide a little bit to the outside, and Tyler's following on behind him, trying to get that gap closed. Tyler did a 1:28.446 versus Carter's 1:29.370 as Connor takes the win on the line. Looks to me like Carter's going to be able to hold second place. Just got one more corner to go. There goes Carter pushing for second. Looks like Tyler will take third. There we go. Tyler crosses the line in third. Peter Lee crosses the line in fourth. And Ben Harris in fifth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very fun race. I tell you, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I really, really had fun watching that one. What do you guys think about it, guys? I'm talking to all the folks there in the chat, but I'm also going to jump over and see if anybody wants to come and talk in the disco. Let's see. I don't have anybody in the standby booth, but let me pull Peter Lee in to start with and see if Peter will have a quick word with us. Hey, Pete, can you hear me?
Yes, hi. Hey, Ian.
How was that for you, my friend?
Oh, that was pretty intense, I'm a little kind of upset at myself for that spin on the second to last lap, but boy, talk about action. That's more action in one race than you get in, a couple of weeks of
that certainly was some fun racing to watch. Just seeing you guys battling it out like that in that little pack was just so much fun.
Yeah, what happens is, that long front straight, I think is like half a mile long. You get a good run, so there's a good draft, and then, it keeps everyone close together there, and your only opportunity to lose someone is in the twisty bits, the rest of the track.
Right.
But, where there's so many different lines that you can take through these corners with the was just kind of fun to watch.
It's almost annoying because by the time you sort of figure out the line you want to use, the race is over.
Yeah, I think the other thing also is the close-in racing is possible because like I have 100% trust in all the other guys in this league, and so I just know that it's going to be really hard racing, but so clean, and it was true to form. We just were we were within inches of each other at times, and there was never a moment where I was afraid that that there was going to be some bad contact. It was just the only thing I was afraid of was keeping up with everyone.
Yes, yeah, it was fun to watch. I mean, there was that pack in the second race in the feature race of second, third, fourth, and fifth place was so much fun to watch and commentate on because you just kept switching around and switching around and switching around positions. So it gave us a lot of fun from the broadcast perspective anyway. For watching that, it really was.
Well, kudos to Conrad. He was in a class all by himself. I think we had to try to figure out how on earth he gets those amazing lap times. And then Carter, halfway through the race, realized that it was a battle for P2, and so he slowed a little bit, lifted, and I stayed behind him just to bring us a little closer together, so we could have some a little bit more exciting racing. And so it's good. He really earned his P2, and in the most sportsmanlike way you could imagine. So kudos to Carter.
Right. Well, no, it was again. I just can't say how much fun I had watching this, watching you guys race. I think you guys put on a tremendous show for us, and congratulations to you and everybody else for the racing you did.
Right. Well, thanks. It was fun. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm gonna grab Pim and have a quick chat with him. I'm sure he's not quite as happy as you are, but we'll see what he has to say. Talk to you later, mate.
Yep. Bye.
Mr. Pim Luth, sir.
Hi.
How you doing?
Let's forget about this race and just what's actually next. I don't know.
Well, these things happen. Your first race wasn't so bad.
It was. I made a small mistake, and I was like, okay, this is just the heat. Don't worry, small mistake. Anything can happen. But I did pretty much the same thing in the second race. So yeah, it was. I think I had to practice a little bit more. Most of the times it goes quite well, and this time it just didn't.
Right. Well,
So I could have a choice of going back on track or just watching that awesome race with those guys, the four of them driving around. And I choose to spot for Peter. That was an awesome race, didn't it? They did a really good job.
That was a lot of fun to watch and a huge amount of fun to commentate on because they just kept changing position, and it was that battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth that was tremendous fun to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. I had fun watching it. I wish I was there because I think I had the speed of the same of them. I think Carter figured out the track while he was driving, so his last laps were really quick and he was getting on.
Right.
But it was a nice race, and of course, Conrad, congratulations. I don't know how you do that, but awesome times.
Well, we'll have
We
to.
need Jason back.
I'll have to talk about it more and maybe give him a bit more of that broadcaster's curse.
Yeah, exactly. I think you are giving him less time, and he has easy time to get away with us. But I think next track we'll definitely have a shot again.
All right.
So looking forward to that.
Good stuff, mate. Well, okay. Thank you so much. And I can see that I got Tyler waiting to have a quick chat with us, so I'm going to pull him in. Pim,
All
I'll
right.
talk to you later, mate.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. And Tyler, hey, can you hear me? Oh, wait, hold on. You're on mute. Give me a second. My bad. Let's get you off mute. Hey, Tyler, got your ears on?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations, my friend. Did you have a good race? Did you enjoy yourself?
That was an excellent race. I am drenched in sweat from head to toe. That was really intense.
Good stuff, man. Well, it's always good fun to see everybody working hard there. We had and I must have said this about 1,000 times now. We had a huge amount of fun watching you guys racing, and especially when there was that pack of second, third, fourth, and fifth, and you guys just kept swapping position all the time.
I know there was one point there we came down the straight 2 wide by 2 wide there. Like we pulled out in draft train with a separate train to make passes. I think we 3-wided turn 1 a couple times. That was really scary.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, it was. I think I've got it on the screen now, where I think Peter Lee pulled out from behind Carter Stickney, and you pulled out from behind Ben Harris, and you both passed both of the other cars. So you climbed 2 positions with 1 pass and ended up in 3rd behind Peter Lee, which was pretty cool.
Right, that was an unreal move. Thanks, Peter, if you're still around. That was great of you to do that. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the lead pack there that did their yellow flag caution, let the racing sync back up. That was cool of them. Very cool of you guys.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, how long have you been with the league now?
2 months, 3 months, something like that.
Oh, good. Well, welcome. You're fairly new, so this is kind of normal for us. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Again, what can I say? Just a tremendous race that we've had today. Nice thing to wake up to on a Saturday morning. Took me a little while I think I was under caffeinated this morning, so it took me a little while to get myself organized. But
yeah, we extended the practice time out to accommodate it.
There you go. Hey, do you have any shout outs to anybody you might be watching or anybody you want who might watch it later?
Shout out to Sturge, who was watching my stream today, and shout out to Lart, who was also watching my stream and cheering me on.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
That's always good. And then if anybody wants to see this and the race we commentated on, they can go to twitch.tv/barefoot_racing. It'll be there, and I'll also be popping it up in YouTube. So it'll also be available in YouTube soon. The links will be in our Discord, so that anybody who wants to watch this after the race and hear all the confusion and mayhem that I added to it by getting things wrong completely, they are more than welcome to do so. Anyway, thanks to you guys. I had a lot of fun commentating it. You guys made it a huge amount of fun to watch, and I really hope that everybody else enjoys it as much as I did.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ian.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So there you go. Sunday night Skippy, Saturday morning racing in the Formula V. Very small pack this week, unfortunately. I really would like to see the pack grow from, I think the biggest one we've had is about 10 or 11 on a Saturday morning to more in the 15 to 20s. But yeah, so if you're thinking about having a blast around and you'd like to join us, join the Discord. Sunday Night Skippy is our Discord name. Join the league and see what you can do. We also race Skippies on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, I should say. But there's also other races that are put on during the week that are open to anybody who'd like to have a go. You don't have to be a league member, and you can just have a go and see what things are like. Also, if you want to try racing with us, we do have a race on a Sunday evening. We call it SF2, and it will be it's under hosted in the iRacing channels. If you go in to look at hosted racing and look for my name, Ian Worrell, Worrell, you'll be able to find it there. Join the Discord. You have to be a member on the Discord to get the password for it, but it'll be available to you. And once you meet the criteria, you will be able to jump in and race with us, just to get a feel of what it's like to race in the Sunday Night Skippy League. Super. Right. Well, that's about it from me. Guys and gals, whoever is watching still, I do hope you have a fabulous rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. And hopefully we will see you on the Cavo-K Racing Network for the race on Sunday evening, starting at 8:05, I think it is, approximately 8:05 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday evening. And then again, we'll have a race broadcast during the week. And then again on the Saturday morning, we'll be doing another one of these Saturday morning, Sunday night Skippy races. And that's all from me. So, once again, thanks a lot for listening. Take care, be safe, enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.